Welcome to PhotoTalk.
Yeah, welcome to PhotoTalk. We are back after a week.
Yeah, right.
Why don't you give our viewers good evening while I fix my tech here because I have a small problem.
Oh. What'd you do?
I'm just trying to send the video to Instagram and it's not kind of working the way it's supposed. It never does, you know? It just never worked the way it's supposed.
So many people have left Instagram already.
Looks like we are there already.
Well, good.
Yeah, so, we are there.
Today's about what?
Today is we just surfing in the trend of how to be a better photographer in 2021.
If we're allowed to.
We will be allowed to. Things are getting better one way or another.
Well, what
we keep talking about this. I try to avoid this topic, but it's impossible because it's happening. So much stuff is happening that it's impossible to avoid this topic. They just put us on quarantine again, and for 1.5 weeks they then took us out again and put us back in the streets.
That's true. Yeah, it's like an up and down thing. It's like they do it 1 minute, and then the next minute it's something else. Next minute something else. So it's like, what is going on?
Well, I'm glad to know that it's the same in the States because I was really worried it was just here, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, it's different for sure.
And how was your week, Ron?
Busy. Shot a bunch of sports kids this week. So
finished the shoot? Finished the editing and
always. That's the best part about sports. You don't have a lot of editing. And
yeah,
it's one of the things I enjoy.
That's the bad part about beauty and glamour. You have a lot of editing.
Yeah, exactly. Let me put guitar thing.
My text fix it. So we can start to talk. I think it's better this way. I just need to get in the point where I'm in the center, or else my OCD makes me crazy, you know? Right. I need to be right on center. I cannot be cut. Arm cut.
Well, set your stuff up right. No. So we're talking about business, right? So one thing that is a good thing to do while we're on this nice little COVID spree is we can actually go in, look at your website, make sure your website is going to be on point for when this stuff starts going. Now's the best time when you got like nothing to do.
Yeah, that's right. I start to, in fact, I did my whole website again, and I'm about to do it again, put it on Versace Studios, right during this period of quarantine, because as soon as jobs start again, I want to be able to do some advertising and get some customers.
Yeah, I mean, now's the time to start developing your marketing strategy, coming up with a plan for what we're going to do for the next year. So I've already planned out 6 months, and I'm working on the last 6 months now. So because here in Alabama we've opened up, so I'm happy, thank God.
Yeah, I'm just, in fact, I didn't plan for this year yet. In fact, I'm just, as you know, I'm just doing my sloppy painting for the whole last 2 weeks.
Okay, guys, who here, show us in the comments, who goes from head to toe in freaking paint when they paint? Any of you?
Me. I don't have an experience with
just
it.
comment over there, because this guy here, I have never seen so much paint on someone ever painting.
I had painting even in my
studio.
face, falling from my eyes. I was crying painting. But anyway, what I'm doing right now is just using this time to kind of, I don't want to say renew, but to do some improvements in my space.
Yep.
So I can really go strong to the market and try to get as many customers as I can.
Yeah, exactly.
And for the kind of picture I make and you make, having a space is important. So you don't have to keep renting all the time. Because one, there is the problem of timing. Sometimes you can find the time you want to do the session and the customer wants that time and you don't find any studio with that time to book. And the whole process of renting is a hassle. So I just prefer to do it here.
Plus, you just have to spend more money. So
it's money that could come to your pocket.
Well, to the business. So
by your pocket, I mean Versace.
Yeah, exactly.
This show is brought to you by Versace Studios. Yeah, I'm really proud of it.
We linked up, so now we're Versace Studios International. So now we're not just in the US, we're also in Brazil.
Yeah.
So
this is one way of partnerships.
Yeah. I mean, we're spreading the name, which I think is cool. We both have the same style. We have the same look. So that's the thing that I like most about it.
And this thing, we know for a fact that you do other types of shoot, but glamour and boudoir is something really strong for you, as is strong for me. So,
swimsuit, muscle, cars, basically anything that's commercial. So now getting to that, one thing that people need to start working on right now is all of your I got to
using your screwdriver.
But one thing that everybody needs to work on right now is marketing and your forms, your all your stuff that you're using to show people, all your samples, those things everybody needs to get in. So right now is the best time to do it because you're not shooting, you're stuck in a house. Now's the time to get everything rebranded. Just like the perfect rebranding time.
And by shooting, you have to take in consideration that all the time you spend editing pictures to delivery, you don't have to do it too. So right now you have time to do this. You can work on your contracts, you can work on your proposals, you can work on your samples, and have everything ready. As soon as they open the market in your city, you just go for advertising and selling.
Exactly. And it's like we took our site from old to new, and now it looks so much better. And I've had already a couple of people say, wow, you do really good work. Well, it's because they see the new framework that we put in. So that's a good one for all of them. You know what I mean?
And we are not only talking and we are not only upgrading our photography material, but we are still working hard on video, like really hard on video. So if you see our first video and look this one right now, you're gonna get impressed,
It's night and day. So, I mean, restructuring yourself right now during COVID would be your best thing as a photographer to do. Start getting what you want. Start paying attention to exactly the clients that you're looking for. Create the game plan. You don't plan to fail, you fail to plan. So if you don't have a plan in place for the next 12 months, then you're not going to be ready for it. You know what I mean?
There's two things we have on project management and marketing. For the marketing part, I think you just said one very important thing. There is set your persona. Who is your client? Who is that you want to try to bring to work with you?
Who's the demographic you're looking for?
Yeah, demographic, I think, is the better word in English. And the other thing that we have on IT and managing is that do the plan, run the plan. You cannot run the plan if you didn't do the plan, and you should not.
You can't test the plan if you don't run the plan, and you can't adapt the plan to things that are happening if you don't use your plan.
Plan, run, measure, adapt. Plan, run, measure, adapt. It's always the same.
Always the same.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And a lot of people are doing it off the cuff. And now that we got into COVID, I mean, I don't know how many photography studios I've seen now shut down because they had no contingency planning whatsoever. So it's like, okay, I was ready for it.
So, you are still there. You are still alive. I'm still alive. So we did something right.
Yeah, we didn't do what we didn't want to do, and we focused on other stuff. So that way, when all this other crap goes away, we can then start going full force. So, and that's a good thing. So, and now businesses are starting to open back up, which means they're going to start looking back into marketing, and that's how we're going to get more jobs.
And talking about getting better at photography, that's one thing that is worth to mention. Getting yourself on different kind of photographies, because to me, the only thing that can make you really better at photography is shooting. There's no other option. So you need to shoot.
100%.
And every type of photography that you get involved with, it has its own characteristics. It has its own
fingerprint.
Sorry? Fingerprint. Yeah, fingerprint. That's it. And you have to learn it. And the only way to learn it is doing it. I'm not telling you to go there and charge customers for something you don't know how to do it, okay? But you should get involved. If you do portraits, try to shoot products. If you do products, try to shoot food.
Right now is a perfect time to experiment. So when you're at home, grab a product like, I don't know. What do I have? Hey.
Your phone, a bottle.
Take one of these.
What the hell? What the hell this is doing
there?
Try
to sell it. I don't know.
You have a screwdriver and this. You're fixing the table or something.
I've been putting together all kinds of stuff. It works. So
this is.
That's one of the things that needs to happen is start experimenting and exploring different avenues, different areas, and get out there. You don't have to be around people. I mean, maybe you want to try birds. There's a lot of people I know good well we have a couple of people that are that have been watching us that are doing birds, and they look great. It's in fact, some of them are even making competitions now. So, it's good.
And this is something that people really underestimate and think professionals don't do that. But actually, we both do this on daily basis. Every time we get the camera, we do something different. It's not like, you remember when you start in photography, remember how excited you were and how you feel good about it. It's just bring that feeling back. Just try again. Just do it again.
Yep.
I want to come back to this view. I like this view. Yeah, because you have OCD like me.
But yeah, it's definitely that time of the year. We're almost to the end. So as soon as all this stuff turns around, it's gonna get better. But you gotta be ready for it, or else you'll lose.
We already have inoculation coming and all this stuff. So at some point, I guess pretty soon, we're gonna get out of this situation and we're gonna be able to really work. By the way,
exactly.
The model just canceled my shoot on Saturday.
Why?
Just because she had some kind of problem.
Asked
me to move to next week.
Well, at least she changed it. Because I know most models that I've dealt with, when they flake out, they're usually like, "Oh, my uncle's in the hospital." God, I don't know how many times I've heard that.
No, this time was something about work or something. Oh, I have to do this and that. So. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, that's another thing you can do. You can shoot model as long as you, the model, and one person, and you keep distance and play with it.
Well, I just shot 14 people and we had no problems. It was great.
Oh, but come on. So, you are on a gymnasium, so you can get your 7200 and get in the other side of the court and shoot the guy for fun.
I was basically at half court. They were at the 3-point line, so it wasn't that far. So, yeah. So, anybody watching, tell us where you're from.
And let's bring our new tradition. If you want to hop in the live and talk to us live right now, just click the link I put in the chat. We're gonna bring you to the green room, and then we put you on screen, and we can talk live. So if you want, just click the link.
And it's funny,
we're live on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 destinations.
I read all about these beginners that are wanting, coaching and mentoring and all that stuff. And here we are giving it away for free. And most of them don't even show up. They're like, "Oh, I forgot." Ain't my big deal. We're here to help you. But,
just come in with your questions, your pictures, and we will be very glad to have you here and try to help in whatever we can.
Yeah.
So what more, Rom?
Reach out.
What more we can do to get better at photography in 2021?
Well, 2021 is going to be the year of boom business. It's coming. And it's going to be coming in with a vengeance because everybody wants to make up for their losses. So, as photographers, you're going to want to really hone in on getting your game plan on point. I mean, that's really going to be that's the biggest thing right now, is getting that game plan. Because if your game plan is not on point, you're gonna be hurting. Like right now it's February, so you got March and April. March is St. Patrick's Day. You got April, which is Easter.
What day is today? Today's 11. Yeah, you already lost the first date. That's Valentine's Day at 14. It's 14 or 12? 14. Not you. If you don't have a plan, you already lost the first date of the season.
So, I mean, planning is very, very important. Right now, it's really important. And if you can get your game plan together, get your marketing together, get all your documents revamped, looking good, looking professional. Maybe you want to get some new shirts, new clothing. Yeah. So, all that stuff is going to look professional for your business, which is in turn going to give you more business afterwards. So, that's the whole point of business, is that you're always got to look professional. And when people look at your stuff, they're going to look at your books. They're going to look at all your stuff and look at it and judge you by what you're presenting. So you definitely want to have a good presentation. If you want to get into modeling, I highly recommend 11 by 17 books. They make the biggest impression. These books shouldn't be like cheap paper, because cheap paper is literally tells anyone that looks at it, they're gonna be like, he doesn't really care, does he? You know what I mean?
One thing that you have to be in mind that every time we talk about this, we talk for a reason. Here, we don't sell digitals, we sell prints. So to sell prints, you need to have prints in your hand so you can show it.
Yep. And on your walls, that's vital. One trick that I do, and I always had it, is my longest wall in my house has an 8 by 10 on it. And there's a reason why it's got this little bitty picture on it, because everybody wants an 8 by 10, right? So every other wall has 20 by 30s. And it's done on purpose, because that long wall is behind them anyway when they're speaking to me and when we're doing the in-person sales. And they're constantly seeing 20 by 30s, right? 16 by 20, 20 by 30, 30 by 40, 40 by 50s all over. Well, this one wall has nothing on it. It's a blank wall with one 8 by 10 in the middle. And it's done on purpose. Because when you're doing IPS sales, okay, your job is to give them pictures that are going to look good on their walls, which is what's surrounding them is 20 by 30s, which really is the best wall portrait. But you get those ones that go, well, I just want an 8 by 10. And I'm like, you really want an 8 by 10? Turn around and look at that 8 by 10 on the wall. And that's when they look at it and go, whoa, that's small. They've been seeing big all this time. They didn't notice the little one that's behind them. So when they turn around and they look at it, they're like, oh, maybe I don't want an 8 by 10. And that's
tricky Rome.
Well, it's not being tricky. It's showing them that an 8 by 10 means nothing. It's a gift print. It is basically
one thing that I want to do,
grandma.
And it will happen very soon. Since I saw Vinny's in the wall, that wall was promised to that. I want to make it. Let me come back to the other view. Wall to wall, just a huge print. Yeah. Doing something like a panoramic shot. I still don't. I'm still thinking what I will do. To be a picture that I will shoot. Just for that, it's not something that I will get from my portfolio. It's not something that I will get for any shoot. I will just get it only for that, and I want to cover the whole wall side by side. I thought about it, making a print.
That photo right there is 20 by 30.
20 by 30?
Yep. And you can see it's a decent size. One way that I look at it, okay, a print, their head should be the size of your closed fist or open hand. That's their head size. If I go back there, you'll see my hand when closed. This is the size of her face, right? So if I put this over her head, her head has to be with right at that level or at this level. And that tells you that it's a true to life size type of image. And it gives it that ratio. So when I try to sell people, like especially headshots, you know, or head and shoulders, dramatic head and shoulders or something like that, or 3/4, you know, I have them put their hand up and I show them, you know, I'm like, look at this face and look at this face, and I'll put your hand up there and see if it's the same size. And then they see why certain images draw interest, because it appears to the person that visits, it looks realistic and it draws the attention because it looks true to life. Like she's looking through the window or something. You know what I mean?
Just a question for a Brazilian dude who doesn't really know your imperial system by heart. 8 by 10 will be what? Like half of that?
8x10.
Yeah.
Well, that's 18 inches less. 30.
It'd be like you cut that frame in half and turn
22 inches. It's 22 inches shorter. So it would be about right there.
Wow, it's really small.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. And everybody wants an 8x10. They're all like, oh, no, I just want an 8x10. Really? Let me show you. And then when they look at it, they're like, oh, well, that's not what I thought. Yeah, you're talking about a gift print. You're talking about something you want to give to grandma who puts it on her dresser or her, what they call it, the fireplace mantle.
It's something to put on a shelf. It's not something to put on your wall.
It's a shelf. It's a shelf image. That's exactly what it is. That's why we call it gift prints. Now, the thing is I could sell you a ton of gift prints, but you're never going to put that on your wall. You know, unless you do something like, you know, have a stairway and you want to put a whole bunch of ones on the stairs. But even then, the 60x20s look better on the stairs because you get that head the size of that fist. You're not making it this big where the head's like the size of your thumb. You know, and it's a big difference. And clients see that, you know, they go and look and they'll look at that image and they're like, why is this image so much better than what I thought? It's like, because you bought the right size, you know. And that's one of the things that people don't realize is that the 20x30 really does make you notice it more than the 8x10. The 8x10 kind of is like camouflage. It's too small.
Okay.
Now, on a desk, like desk at work, sure, 8x10 is great. 5x7?
I think 5x7, 8x10 will be too big for a desk.
Yeah, usually.
It should take a lot of space here. Oh, just blink.
Sure. Did I?
Yes, you did. So let's come back to the topic. What more?
Sure.
Tell me, what can I do to get better at photography this year?
What could you do to be a better photographer?
Yeah, this year, especially this year.
One thing that I know a lot of people are short is their pitch. Everybody has a pitch, but you got to make sure you know your pitch. You know.
Yeah, that's the problem. No one have their pitch. The problem is, and I tell you because I did that. The guy come to you and say, "Hey, I need this," and you don't know how to go forward. And this is a passive move because they are coming to you. If you have to go to someone and try to really sell, it's even worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but do they need what you have? That's the question. You keep moving me.
Sorry.
That's the question. So, do you have what they need? The answer is yes. Because they need marketing. They need images for marketing, and if it's their personal products, nobody has the pictures for their personal products. And of course, if you look at some of the ones that I've worked with, they used to use their iPhones and these little white pop-up tents, right? Then I showed them the difference between what I do and what they did. And they're like, oh, yeah. And how much are you? You know, that's their first thing they say out of their mouth. Well, how much would that cost me? And it's like, oh, it's a simple, you know? And I always make it seem like it's their idea. It has to be their idea.
I'm seeing the speed light stuff all over again.
Speed light stuff?
Yeah, the broken speed light. Can you see this is note?
Yeah.
The tripod only has 2 feet in the floor. Just give me a second. Let me fix this before something happened. Keep going about the pitch.
But yeah, so you definitely need to come up with some type of pitch. And it's not really a pitch to sell. It's a pitch to let people know, what you do and that they need it. So, but yeah, so, getting your pitch together, I mean, you should have one for every genre that you do, like I try to get to know who my clients are in my pitch. I basically quantify them before I say I'll do the job. Like I had some senior moms that came up to me, and they're like, well, we can't really afford $500, to shoot with you. Could we waive it? No. I'm sorry, I don't waive my fees.
That's the point about having your persona, your demographics right.
Exactly. I know who my people are, and the people that use me all the time know that I'm quality, I'm not quantity. And the clientele that I have are not the cheap clienteles. They actually know what they're paying for. And that's the thing, is you develop a reputation. Okay. Like I just moved and I didn't know anybody, but already people know the quality of what I do over the quality of what others do. Does that make sense?
We made a decision back when we start this business that we prefer this type of customers, the clients.
Yep.
If we don't have them, we don't want to work. We prefer to not do anything than have the wrong type of clients. Because one thing that you have to know, guys, you have to think about this. There are two ways of you make money in photography. You can do fast batch shoots for cheap and do a bunch of them, or you can do less shoots and charge higher.
Yeah.
But if you
charge what you're worth.
The point is, if you do the batch shoots, the higher payer, the guy who has more money, will not hire you because he's seeing that you are doing that. So you have to choose, or you're going to do one or you're going to do the other one. You cannot do both.
It's quality or quantity. You can't have both.
You can't have it.
That's just how it is. And, we at Versace Studios is about high quality. I mean, everything I do is about quality. If you look at the books they have, they're leather. They're not pleather. The pages are 3.5 millimeters thick. They're not just paper. We have all different styles. But once they do their orders, right, we do provide them with digitals of what they purchased. That's just a courtesy.
Yeah.
It's not
Remember,
that I sell
we
it.
provide, but we didn't sell. Yeah,
courtesy.
Exactly.
So, I mean, everybody wants digitals because they got social media. And, honestly, I think social media is starting to take a dive bomb, but that's just me. And, people have to really focus in on how to build their value to people, and how to explain the value. Because if they don't understand the value that you're providing, they don't see the value. It's about educating the customer. And that's where the pitch, when I say pitch, this is what the pitch is. The pitch is educating the customer and building your value. And don't just go in there and say, oh, well, I'm a published photographer. Oh, big deal. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'll be like, okay, good for you. They don't care about that. They want to know what you're going to do for them and how your product is going to be for them. Does that make sense?
and what problem you solve.
Exactly.
What of their problems you solve.
I mean, honestly, we are a luxury service. You know, we're not required. I mean, anybody can grab their phones and take pictures, but it won't look very well. But
for a lot of people, that's enough. Let's put it this way.
Yeah. No, for tons of people, that's enough, you know. But for a lot of people that also look the way we look and want quality over quantity, and they know that if they spend $250 on this one image, that in turn they're going to get $2, $3, maybe $10,000 on that one little product for the week. You know,
and even on personal pictures, even on portraits, they'll get something that will last forever because the quality is
exactly. I mean, all of like, okay, canvases. That's a huge one, right? You got canvases that are open backed. They have nothing on them. They're just stretched over the bars, right? Worst canvas ever. So if you see one of those, drop them. Because, I mean, Walmart does it. Basically, almost all of them do it. But there's also the kind that put a hardy board on the back, which makes it very, you know, thick behind the canvas. But at the same time, it's open in the back. So it's still giving that give. But then you have some that have the styrofoam inside that makes it completely firm with the hardy board. That's the winner. So that's the one that's going to last centuries. I mean, it'll sit on the wall of ever. I mean, it's great. You know, another big one is metal prints. You know, if I do sports or if I do proms where they do the dancing and they got their big evening gowns and everything on, those metal prints are the hottest ticket when they have their nice dress that has that sheen on it. You know, anything that's real sheeny looks awesome with a metal print because it pushes and pops that color so much better. And that's something that, you know, that's your upsells. You know, I mean, a regular print will cost X. Then you go to a canvas, which costs probably about 50% more. And then you have your metal prints. And your metal ones, they're indestructible. I mean, them things are solid. So.
And as we are talking about business, let's go a bit more. Let's go deep on the beginning of the topic. Okay, so should I prepare? I should do my plan. I should run my plan, but I don't even know how to make my price, how to charge. I don't even know what I need to start in this kind of jobs. So,
sure,
what should I do? How do I find my price?
All right. Do you know what your cost of goods are?
Yep, I do. If I don't, I'll have to find suppliers, vendors, and
that's
try to. No, in fact, there is one step before. I have to set what kind of products I will sell. That's the first step, because if you don't know that, you don't know.
Supplier, you don't have to worry about that.
You need to know what are the cost of goodies. If you don't know what we're selling, so first set the product, then get the cost of goodies, then
after your cost of goods, how much you wanting to make a year? So say you're making, let's say you want to make $35,000. We'll say 30,000, right? Like an average part-time job. All right, 30,000 divided by 12. I'm not a math guy, so I gotta figure that out.
We could do something like 60,000. There will be 5,000 amount. It's much easier to do the math, you know.
So 30,000 divided by 12.
It's 2.5.
All right, so that's $2,500 a month that you want to make, right?
Yeah, 2,000.
So if you got
2,500.
So now divide that by.
Ooh. Hey, Blaine. Aloha.
Blaney. So you got 2,500, right? So we do that. We divide that by, we'll say 30 days. So you want to make $83.33 basically every day.
How many shoots you gonna do by month? In a month, how many shoots you do?
So
in my case, as I'm just let's do my case. As I'm just working as a side job, I will work on weekends, so I could do 2 shoots a week. There will be 8 shoots a month.
How many hours
of shooting? I don't know, 1-2 hours at most, top. 1 hour, I think, is enough.
Okay. So you basically want to make, if you're doing it one day. So
I want to make the 30,000 yearly, but I can only do 8 shoots a day, 8 shoots a month.
So you're doing 2 on Sunday.
1 on Sunday, 1 on Saturday.
Okay, so 2
every Saturday, every Sunday. Yeah.
All right, so you have to make $583 per person to equal that. So
500?
Yep. So you need roughly about $600 for that weekend, every weekend.
Plus the goodies, plus what I will sell. The prints.
Yeah, but what you sell, you should be making more than what you're selling it for. I'm just talking about what you need to make in profit in order to equal out to the amount of money that you're looking for. So with 2 people, 583 divided by 2, you're looking at $292. That's not hard to sell. I'll be honest with you. Your average, well, I know my average is roughly $600 to $1,200 a person. That's an average, depending on the situation, depending on the economics at the time, all that stuff. I mean, I've had clients that do $13,000. It doesn't matter. The thing is the clients that you have to know where that demographic is.
Yeah,
and you got to try
here I'm around 200 plus the prints. I charge for the prints over the 200.
So you do a 200 session fee.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus the prints.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the 200 session fee, that's already making it to where you only have to sell them into $91.
Yeah, but it's around 2 hours, 2 hours and a half. Okay, the session.
Yeah, but that's fine. I'm looking at day rates.
It's not a bad rate.
And if I do headshots and I go to a company, I guarantee it's $550 day rate. Well, that's the half day rate. The day rate's $1,000. So depending on how big the company is.
So and then you get the day rate. In this case, you get the day rate plus what you sell as prints. So
with headshots, I didn't do it wouldn't be prints.
Yeah, there won't be prints, and that's the point. So you just got the day rate, and you shoot the whole day, 8 hours.
And then I get the $125 per hit.
That's the trick. I was seeing there was too cheap,
See, now I'm kind of pitching you at the same time because see, everybody thinks that's a trick. It's not a trick. They're paying for the rental of my gear. They're paying for me to be out there. They're paying for the experience that we have.
No, I was just thinking that when you said 500 for the session, I just start to think it's too cheap because you're gonna work for 8 hours. In 8 hours, you can shoot like I don't know how many people. You can shoot a lot of people in 8 hours.
A half day rate is 3 hours. Full day rate is 6 to 8 hours. So, that's just the way it is. And it's 3 to 4 hours for that half day, and 4 to 8 hours for full day.
Yeah, it was just feeling to me that $500 to shoot the whole day doesn't meet our standards. So I knew there was something else in the price table there. Yeah, I was just trying to find what.
That's just the fee. That's our travel fee. That's all that stuff put together goes into that fee. That's also to reserve it. So if they say, "Oh, well, we can't do it today," well, that's not refundable. So you lost it because I could have had somebody else there. And
yeah, I usually let they change the date, like it happened this week.
Well,
but
that's a give and take. If it's their first offense, yeah, I'll change it.
Oh, there's no twice. There's no twice. That's only once.
If they go to do it a second time, sorry, you lost your deposit. Call us later.
If you do it once, okay. If you do it twice, it's on me. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it can't happen.
First one, I get it. Stuff happens, but the second one better not mess up because I'm not giving you your money back. It says non-refundable. I give you a courtesy for the first one.
And if you stop to think on this case, I accepted. Okay, I will allow her to change the date. But if you stop to think, you know how much I rush the renewing here? Because I had a shoot on Saturday. I work over the night painting to get everything ready to shoot on Saturday. And suddenly, I'm not going to shoot on Saturday.
Well, look at it this way. Now you have time to make it perfect.
Yeah, that's the point.
Got to be positive, man.
I'm in the Brazilian life. I'm advertising everyone. There is kind of doing what they need. Like I advertised the dude who made the shirt for me and everything. Mm-hmm. And the only guy who screwed up was the mirror guy. I ordered the mirrors on Monday. He's supposed to deliver on Tuesday. It's already Friday. Tomorrow will be Friday and I don't have the mirrors yet.
Yeah, you're doing you're making a vanity, right?
Yeah, I'm doing the makeup station there. And it will be a makeup and hairdresser station. And I need to replace the mirror in the bathroom because it's just terrible.
Yeah, so
the half bedroom.
So to me, that's the most important. And your session fee technically should equal out to whatever you're trying to make. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, you should consider your session fee your salary. It's supposed to pay your salary. The rest of it supposed to be reinvested. Oh, sorry, I took it out. This is Armando Paiva. You know Paiva from the Brazilian Life, the sport photography. Queridinho do Photo Squad. Yeah, Paiva's a great guy.
So, that's one of the things that I always say is your creative fee. I don't even call them session fees. They're actually creative fees because that's what that fee pays for, is the creative part. And it's a psychological thing. So when I'm talking to somebody and they're like, "Oh, well, what's your session fee?" And I'm like, "I don't have session fees. I got a creative fee that, that has to be paid, but I don't have a session."
And dude, one more thing that we should add up: makeup, producer. A producer is kind of optional, but a makeup artist.
Yeah. Makeup artists are hard to find. I mean, good makeup artists that understand photography and how makeup works with photography is the hardest part. Anybody can go out there and make somebody look like they're pretty. But when it comes to photography, it's a whole different level of makeup. I mean, it's caked on. It's a heck of a lot darker than what you would think it would look like.
The worst problem I have with makeup, and I don't have with Chris actually doesn't do that, is that they think they are putting makeup on a woman so she goes to a party. So it's a night party makeup. It's not a photography makeup.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Anybody can do the makeup for bridal, do all this makeup for going out to a club or whatever. That is not photo makeup. Photo makeup is completely different makeup.
And honestly, I did some. I really shot some brides back in the days. Not real brides, but more beauty
bride models
pictures. And even so, the makeup you put on a bride for a wedding is not the same you put on a bride for pictures in a beauty situation.
Exactly. And it's a lot more. Well, it takes somebody that's been working with photographers to know how to do those type of makeup, and there's some that want to learn, which is great. I mean, I'm always happy for somebody that wants to learn. And, so if there's any makeup artists in Alabama, up here in Huntsville, call me.
I have to tell you something. I have to tell you something. Come a bit closer to the microphone. Turn your face a bit to that side. Yeah. Your kicker was going in your nose and now it's not anymore. Oh. But anyway.
I'm just leaning back. I'm laid back. So
anyway, that's exactly what happened with Chris. We kind of learned this makeup and photography thing together. So we did some shots. We saw, not that, let's fix this, that, and that. And today we don't even need to talk. He just get there, he does his shit. I don't mind. Done.
Exactly. Yep. And, it's hard for makeup artists to actually learn without actually having someone take photos of it. And that's why I always tell them, I'm like, look, you guys come experiment. I'll just take the pictures, you experiment, and let's see how good you can get it.
And that's the value of personal projects too, because you have the time to do the experiments with the makeup artist.
There's the makeup colleges out there. And I mean, there's tons of makeup colleges. And these people pay a lot of money to learn makeup, but they don't teach them how to do makeup in front of a camera. They never do. They teach them how to make them look pretty for their face when they're looking at them with your eyes.
Fix this line, fix that line.
Exactly. And
it was actually funny when I was starting in photography, I just took a picture of my cousin and I just saw something I never saw before. She had a brown line on the side of her nose, like someone get a piece of coal and just put it here. If you're looking to the person right there, you're not going to see it. When I just clicked the picture, there was a hard line here.
And it's probably because they didn't blend it.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about photo makeup is that, when they do contouring, that's one of the ones that's the most noticeable is when they put their contours in and try to make their noses look thinner. And, they come around the sides and they try to make the face look thinner, all by using light contrast. Right?
Exactly what we're going to do on Dodge and Burn 5 minutes later.
I mean, that too. But if you have a good makeup artist, Dodge and Burn is not that hard.
Yeah.
Because you see some of the photos, before and afters. They look completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still them, but they look like they're supermodels instead of being just, regular people. And that's the whole point of what we want is we want high-end that's the whole point of Versace Studios is we're about quality, not quantity.
And I have something that you don't usually work with professional models. I have this thing of working with new faces a lot, people that are just starting the market, and you see they go nuts when they see the results, because they are not used to see that quality of picture. That
they got some
kind
experienced models that still are trying to get that. They shoot with almost everybody that's under the sun, which I don't get, but they do because they're getting paid for it. I get it, but then they go and throw it on their stuff. And sorry, but there's a lot of images out there that some of these models are putting up that is just hurting them.
It's just garbage.
It is. It's straight garbage. I mean, I could show you some. Of course, I'm not going to out somebody, but that's what I mean by quality over quantity. And if you are a true model and you really want to be a model, you're going to look for people who are going to excel your craft of modeling, to get you into those big campaigns.
And this is another thing that I don't get on models. They just don't want to pay, and they are hurting themselves because honestly, we will not do for free. We will every day more. I will do it for free when I want, when I have the project.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Most models think that they're really good, and then I say, well, show me your anything. Just show me something that you've done. Show me something that wows me, right? And the biggest thing I think I saw in a couple of them was like them laying on a bed. I'm like, that's all you got? I mean, okay. I mean, honestly, and then I've seen some of them looks like cell phones that are taken. There was some that had what looked like a Polaroid. I mean, it was just nothing was professional. That said professional model. It all said Instagram model. Whoa. It all said Instagram weird. Model. So, and if you show me a portfolio that looks like an Instagram model, I ain't going to give two craps,
And I will tell you one thing. There are some Instagram models that you see high quality pictures. There are a few that you really see it. But most of them...
they're also charging $150 to $200.
The big majority, you just see those lifestyles shoots that, and then comes that photographer. I don't want to criticize people, but that photographer that comes here and kind of go with the trends, like let's put more orange on this thing, let's kind of fade the picture, like wash the colors. Come on, right. Stop doing that stuff.
See, now, this is how I see it. If I pay a model, they're not going to get a photo. They'll pay for those photos.
Right, if you're a painter?
If I'm paying you, you're working. Now, if you're paying me, you get those pictures and I don't get to use them. Unless I pay you to use it. Right? So, if I wanted to use them for advertising, now maybe we could do a trade for print. Amazing how that works, right?
Yep.
So now if I do a TFP or a TFC or TFD, whatever they call now, that is based off of mutual need or mutual want, right? Trade, I give you photos, you give me time. Basically done. Now the other part of it is if I don't need more models, but you need photos and you know my quality, you're going to pay me and then you get to keep those photos because you have now hired me.
I guess once a year, everyone has to renew your portfolio. So you're gonna do trades once a year, or every 6 months.
Every 6 months. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about us photographers. Once a year, every 6 months, we're gonna have to get new material. Even if we are shooting, but we're gonna want to do personal projects and all that stuff.
Sure.
But apart from that, if you want pictures and I'm not in the mood to get new material, you're gonna have to pay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, and I've had models get really pissed off at me because I didn't want to shoot them for free, and I'm like, why? I got 10,000 of them sitting in my computer. I mean, if I come up with some cool idea and I need a model, well, maybe I'll pay you, but I haven't seen any of your work that shows me you have any qualifications anyway. So,
and this is the second part. If you go to Facebook groups, if you go to Model Mayhem, if you go to websites where you could find models to trade,
right. Yep.
They feel like they are the last cracker in the pack, you know? They are not, buddy. They are not.
Well, okay, there are some really good people that are in Instagram, that are in the, they do their marketing through Instagram. I know quite a few of them, and some of them are really good people. Okay, so I'm not bashing them. They make a lot of money off of guys with cameras. That's what they make their money off of. Yeah, they have a decent look, right? And what they do is they charge $90, $100 per hour. And you got these guys that will oogle them and blah, blah, blah. And then they wonder why they get in trouble with some of these wackos that are out there. There really is wackos. I mean, I hate to say it that way, but there's a fact that there are people out there that are not good intended. And some
Wait, we are talking about the model or about the photographer or about
the
both?
Photographer?
Oh,
the photographer. I've heard horror stories, and it sucks.
There are a bunch of them. We were discussing one of them these days. They start to ask pictures. First, he asked pictures of He was starting at Boudoir. He mentioned that he want to do a trade shoot, but he doesn't want the pictures to be posted. And if the girl posted, she's not supposed to mark him in the pictures. Okay, we kind of take it.
Wait, it's a trade for print?
No, it's a trade for digitals. Just a trade for digitals. And he wanted a model. But wait, listen to this. He started saying that he want a model because he want to try boudoir and all that stuff. He never did it, so let's do a trade. I give you the digitals and you model for me. But if you post the pictures, you don't tag me. That's the first thing he said. You cannot tag me if you post the pictures. That's the first thing he said. The second, he started to ask for the pictures of the looks of the lingerie she used. She sent it. Then he started to ask her, oh, now send me the lingerie on your body. And that's weird.
Yeah, that's straight up weird. I don't really care.
And it's different. In fact, if you ask this for a model is one thing because you have a career over this. She goes to your Instagram, there will be like a zillion pictures of girls in that situation. So you are not a perv. If I do something like that, I'm not a perv because I have a bunch of pictures like that. I have a bunch of models to testify. It's just a dude who shot any other stuff, doesn't have any pictures in that style on his Instagram, his website, and suddenly ask a girl to send pictures on lingerie.
Yeah, it's creep.
Don't get me wrong. It still can be real. It still can be the guy. Yeah. Maybe it's not a perv, but
maybe he wants to get into it. But yeah, there's ways to do it.
He doesn't want to publish it because his wife is jealous or something. But if you want to do that kind of stuff, just hire a model. Just pay for it. You know, if you have all these constraints, just pay for it.
See, I mean, in that case, yeah, he should have paid. I mean, he needs a portfolio. If he's not shooting that style, then he should be paying a model in order to build a portfolio. It's just that simple.
I didn't put all that stuff. I just got, for my first shoot in this style, I just got the first model that show up. I shoot.
Sure.
First, now I have something. Now I have something I can start. I posted, and it was really funny because as soon as I post, I was still going to Facebook. I just put a post there saying I need models for this kind of shoot. These are my pictures. It was like a list of 30 models. As soon as I post my first shot, 30 models asking, oh, I want, I'm available. When it will be? So you just need one shoot, just one shoot.
One good model.
One good model, one shoot to really get noticed. And don't have any other problems. At least in Brazil, you will not have any other problems with models. I was so nervous for that shoot that I just put a GoPro and I filmed everything so I don't get sued.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like all my clients that I have, no one ever sees them. They don't see clients. Clients is number one priority for us, is to keep them secret. The people that you see on our websites. Now, I do have some clients that allow me to put them because they were really good. And I'm like, hey, can I use you? And, they'll sign a little waiver saying, hey, yeah, go ahead. That to me is cash because anybody local will see that face, right? So if I have something good that's local, I want to have that on my website. So in turn, I usually give them something. There's a compensation there, right? But for the most part,
one way or another, you pay for the image. You're gonna give one more print. You're gonna do something, just to balance the equation,
Yeah, and I don't just do it's my photo. I could do what I want. No, it's also their likeness and their face. So it's two-way street. Now, for models, I use models specifically for advertising, for marketing, for, all that stuff. Because why? Because that's what they do. They're out there already. And everybody that's part of the, markets and your clients, they don't want to be seen all over the place.
And even if right now they want, 20 days from now, they can get in a new relationship and just call you and say, hey, do you know that picture? Just put it down because it's causing me problems. And you don't want to buy a fight with your customer. No. It's your customer. It's probably a recurrent, a returning customer. So,
and I mean, there's stuff that we use, like some weddings that has some really good shots. We'll be like, hey, could we use this photo? Because we love this.
Yeah, sometimes headshots.
Or, you get some shot that could win a competition. So you like, hey, can I use this for competition, please? And, some of them are like flattered about it. They're like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I'm like, cool, I'll give you a free 8x10 here. Because, I mean, it's just when people hear that, sometimes they actually get flattered. They're like, wow.
Yeah, they do. They do.
And
especially if the picture win the prize. Especially if the picture win the prize.
Then I'll be like, hey, dude, you got first place. But so yeah, I mean, it's definitely, models are a different breed. Nowadays, everybody thinks they're a model. I mean, literally everybody that has a decent look thinks they're a model. But when they get in front of the camera,
everybody want to be an influencer.
But the funny part is as soon as they get in front of the camera, they're froze like a freaking stick man. It's like, dude, loosen up.
Yeah, and not only that, because real models, it's not only that they not froze, but they are self-aware, not in a bad way, okay? Self-aware, I know it's a bad way to say it, but they know
No, they are. They're
they are aware
self-aware.
of their hands, how to look, like it's comfortable or not. So
A
it's
true
completely different
professional
experience.
model, a true professional model will, one, get in front of a mirror and they will practice it over and over and over until they know what they're doing. I have watched, in fact, I was at IBMS, one of those photo shoot things for, that's out in Florida. I remember I was shooting this one girl and I had this image in my head. I knew what I wanted in my head and I told her what I wanted. She understood what I wanted, but she couldn't do it at that time. Now, mind you, we shot probably 300 images that day, but she actually went back. Now, this is what pro is. She went back, it was the end of the day. We had our dinner and everything. And she actually was practicing in front of a mirror that pose that I was trying to get. And then the next day she came back and she goes, "Hey, you remember that pose you wanted to do?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I got it." I'm like, "Let's go." So we go out there and I'll be damned, we got like 25, 30 shots of the exact pose I wanted. And that's the difference between professional and amateur. They will literally perfect what they are doing.
This girl that supposed to come on Saturday, she has some points with me because there's no need of direct the model. I put her in the studio and I just shoot. Every click I get, she changed the pose. It's always good pose. If I want to change something, I just need to tell once. She's already doing it, so it's pretty easy to
that's
work
another
with her.
thing is the flow with a pro is awesome. It's the pro flow is what I call it. They just know how to go one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. You're done in an hour and you got 1,000 shots. Easy. That's that pro. Yeah. Oh, in 30 minutes, you got like 300 shots. I mean,
and it's like easy. No shot is the same shot.
Exactly.
We are talking 1,000 different shots.
And we're talking like, I mean, not big movements. It's like from here to here to here to here. I mean, it's just subtle movements and each one looks different. Each one has a little difference, little turn, little here. And they move so quickly. And they know that as soon as that flash goes bang, they're already moving. And that is the pro flow right there. And it's nice because you can just sit there and go click, click, and you can get another angle, say, "Hey, hold on, do that again." Click. And they go right back to where they just were.
I leave the recycle beep on. So when the flash flashes, they change the pose, wait for the recycling beep, and click flash again. So she doesn't move in between because they are so fast. And my strobes, my strobes just don't follow. I cannot shoot that fast, So I leave just the beep on. So click, change pose, beep, click. Or else they, in between the flash and the beep, they do like 4 poses. It's too fast. It's too fast.
So yeah, I mean, and that again, that's what a pro flow model does, And I like pro flow models. Pro flow models, in 30 minutes, I can have everything I need for marketing.
Yeah, if you could only shoot that kind of model.
Well, the thing is that's what modeling agencies are for. See, I could go to an agency and say, "Hey, I need 2 models, 1 brunette, 1 blonde. I need them at about 6 foot. I need probably 32, 24, 26.
6 feet?
They will, yeah.
Do you know what that means? No overhead lighting here.
Well, that's you.
It's not high enough.
But yeah, so I could tell them what I like. I want a 5'7", 5'8", 24, 36, 27, whatever the dress is that I have or whatever the outfit is that I have, and I tell them all the sizing I need. They literally have a Rolodex of people that they can literally go in their computer, put in everything that I just said, and they can find every person that fits that description. And all I got to do is go, yeah, that one looks perfect for me.
By the way, I never use it here because it's not as strong in Brazil. But do you use Model Mayhem?
No. I honestly hate Model Mayhem.
Even for paid models?
I don't use them. Never will. I heard way too many horror stories on Model Mayhem. Really bad stories.
Really?
Yeah.
I got kind of worried because one of the models who came here, we were doing a test shoot. She told me that there are some models on Facebook groups and all the stuff that they ask, especially on Boudoir and Glamour, if they can bring their boyfriend. And in fact, they come to rob you. And they rob everything you have.
And that's a lot of, I've heard like several of those already.
That's really bad.
Also, I mean, I've even had it where I've heard stories of someone getting considered sexual harassment, and their co-art was videoing and getting it when he's like adjusting their dress or doing some type of adjustment, and you don't see everything. You just see her like acting like she's moving in and out. Yeah, there's a bunch of fishy stuff that I've seen, and I was just like, hey, good luck. I got cameras.
That's the point. Me too. So
anybody that shoots at me knows that when I'm shooting, I got a live video camera going, and it's going for their safety and my safety. Period.
Yeah, I have two security cameras. In that space, I have two security cameras, so I cover both angles. There's no, my hands are always, and that's the other point. You just got to it. My wife is sitting by my side all the time, and I usually have the makeup artist. I usually have Chris here, but when I don't, I still have my wife. So
so
you can try.
I know for a fact they could try. They won't succeed. One, I'm a former police officer. I'm not an idiot. So we definitely got those. Number two is everything that we do is strictly professional, and they will stay professional 100% of the time. No ifs, ands, or buts. So I am not going to tolerate some type of bad demeanor from someone else.
And talk about this. I went to a shoot with a model, Julia. You saw her pictures, the brunette one, the one you helped me to edit the background. And I usually do implied nude pictures. I do that. I'm sorry, it's my thing. And that day, two other photographers came with me. She was about to go there and take bra off. She was not using patches or anything. The moment she said, I'm doing this, I said, no, you are not. Because one thing is me. I can vouch for me. Even knowing there's other people, I can't vouch for them. So let's stick to the basic and try to not get in trouble with any,
Yeah.
So exactly. That's another point. Yeah. So is it strictly professional?
That's why people do what they do in front of me, is because they know I'm not doing something stupid. And I have lots of models that can vouch that I do not touch, period. That's on them. They will fix it, or my wife can help them. But me, I don't touch a model.
Since I started with that kind of shot, there are some models that I touch, but I don't touch to fix dresses I touch to fix the hair, take the hair out of the face.
Sure. Hair is different. I'm talking about anything below the neckline.
No.
Is off limits. I don't touch
anything.
There's
no need for it.
Nope. Now,
there's actually no need for it.
If they're sitting and say a part of the dress is up high or stuck underneath the boob area, I just say, hey, honey, go grab that and pull that down. And so she'll go down there and she'll pull it down, and everything else stays like it is, and we're good. But that's the only time. I mean,
and that's another point where the flow, the profile the professional flow helps, because you just have to say, hey, do you see that? Just fix it for me. They know what you mean.
They see
you
it.
know?
After they've been with you long enough, they see it. And, you know, some of the crew that I work with, they do too. You know, I mean, every now and then I'll grab, you know, some people to help out, and they all help out all the time. So they know exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah, when the makeup artist is here, I don't need to worry with anything about hair and makeup. I don't even look at it. He gets those straight hairs. He just pull it back every time. Every 5 minutes, he goes there and does something. And
well, see,
the rest is to my wife.
I always tell my makeup artist, I said, always say, ceasefire. If they see something, it don't matter when, what, where. They see something out of place, just yell ceasefire and go fix it. Yeah. And it's funny. It's funny because they know I'm a disabled veteran Marine, right? So ceasefire to me is a fire line. My finger will come off the trigger. And they go fix it, and then it's back on. So, you know, I mean, I actually respect hair models and makeup artists that see something and say something. The ones that go, ceasefire, and they run over there and they fix it. You make sure it's all perfect. Okay, game on. And then they run out.
And the save times in the post-production.
It just saves a lot of so much time. Exactly. And not only this, but the images that I'm shooting are usually going in their portfolio also. So they want it to look good. And so do I. Yeah. So, you know, and that's the thing that I think a lot of people are missing. Especially people who want to become a model. If you want to become a model, you need to look for people who are going to put you ahead of the game and not just make you look like you're a tramp. I mean, I'll be honest with you, there's been a lot of them that look like you're a tramp. It does not flatter your body. It does not flatter you. I mean, really ask for people's portfolios. I mean, I do. If I'm looking for a model, I want to see your portfolios. You know, I've had a bunch of amateur models that call me up and be like, oh, I could do that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, let me see. You know, what you got? And they'll show me, and it's like,
looks spread like eagle.
I mean, spread eagle? Really? You're sending me for I'm doing a fashion shoot, and you're showing me a spread eagle. You know what that is, right? So the legs are spread. Yeah. So I'm just like, no, sorry, can't use you. I'll go to somebody else. Dude, I don't have time for that.
We went completely off board of the topic, and we talked for 1.5 hours over other topic. That's us.
Anyway, hey, it's good conversation. So
it's good conversation. Yes, of course.
So yeah, I mean, and it is part of business. I mean, this is part of business. This is part of the marketing side of business. So, you know, it's not that we're not on focus here. The point is that, you know, a model plays a part in your business for marketing. That is what they're there for. Now, if you get a cheap model, you're going to get cheap business.
And you're gonna get cheap fox. Cheap. Oh my Deus.
If you keep wondering why people aren't going to accept you, it's probably because they're looking at who you're advertising with. Just saying.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, so, and I mean, that's basically it. Have a plan. 2021, by August, we should start hitting the rocks and start really doing good.
But invest on your business. Have good models.
Have good models. Redesign everything from the ground up. Figure out how much you need for the year. Figure out how much you need per month. How much that would be per week. How many shoots you need per week to make that. And get to it. I mean, get them boots on the ground. Start making your designs, start getting your website revamped, you know, hell, you could even start making phone calls saying, hey, we're booked till August. You don't have to say it's in August. You just say, hey, you know, we're trying to get our flow going. we have our next available is August 1st. Would you like to have that? Oh, God, you guys out to August? Sure. Can we get in there? Sure. That takes a deposit of $225.
I'd do that.
I know you would.
I really
and
do that.
Most people do. It's a deposit. It's a creative fee of $225. We can hold your spot, and we'll see you on August 1st. We'll also send you a reminder 24 hours before it. And if you don't tell us that you need a new date within 72 hours, you lose your deposit and so blah, blah, blah. But of course, that day comes. I usually give them the next one for free, but then it's sorry. I'm not losing another spot. So
come back to the middle. I'm sorry. Anyway, it's our time to go, buddy.
Yep. Seems like a lot of people are sleeping today.
I think everybody paints the rooms and everybody's tired.
No, they're probably watching this stuff going on TV.
That was the show for tonight.
It's good enough to me.
I like it. It's a good conversation. It's a good topic.
Yeah. And every week we come up with something new and do something different. So, hopefully we'll get some more of those beginners from the beginner group.
We will. At some point they will show up.
That way they'll start asking questions and start learning instead of trying to learn from another beginner. Just saying.
Okay. That's it for tonight. And we come back next Thursday, same time, here
same time,
at PhotoTalk Show.
And everybody have a great week.
Yeah.
Get all that stuff done.